it's been one stumble after another for President Biden's 5-day overseas trip to NATO. But boy, did he just really end it in a pretty peculiar way. Tape of the president nibbling at the shoulder of a frightened little girl, look at that, has everyone on media cringing. But it comes amid a new report on how the president's antics have got Democrats worried. Top donors are said to be quietly looking for a replacement candidate, bring in Newsom. They're worried over the slow pace of Joe's campaign and how he hasn't even set up a campaign headquarters yet. But there's one Democrat candidate who isn't slowing down. RFK Jr. talking to Fox and Friends this morning about polarization in America.
They're tired of the polarization. They're tired of the anger. Try to focus on the values that Americans share with each other, Republicans and Democrats, rather than focusing on those issues that are keeping us all apart. The polarization is so toxic. It's so venomous. And I think it's more dangerous than any time since the American Civil War. And we have to start talking to each other.
And while RFK pushes unity, the media continues to divide us. Listen to the deplorable thing an MSNBC guest said about pro-Trump Americans.
One of the things that's disturbing is, I guess this is working with a portion of the American people. And that, for me, is just kind of hard to take. And so what exactly is this hold that Trumpism has on some portion of the American people, that their representatives are coming to Washington and acting amok in this way? As Mika said, whether it's, ignorance, stupidity, or graft, something more nefarious, I don't know.
Pretty sure that was the same lady who was upset by the American flags. But regardless, we'll set that aside. Jesse, what do you make of the furtive texts, sideline events, emails, phone calls to prospective candidates from big Democrats saying, like, hey, Joe's not really running?
Well, the smart money is hedging right now, because if you have a lot of dough, would you just plow it all into the Biden campaign? No, you'd look for an alternative, because he's not campaigning. Jesse Watters Primetime has more staff than Joe Biden's reelection campaign.
True.
He also has done one event that he didn't pay for, and he underperformed in his fundraising vis-a-vis Barack Obama. And he doesn't even have a campaign headquarters. He doesn't even have a campaign finance chairman. And the last time I saw the guy, he was laying back like this, glistening in the sun with his eyes closed on the beach. That doesn't look like someone's running for re-election. And then he's going to this, pretend you're a baby. He's going,
this is
and then he's in with
the makeup,
the sniff.
Look at your jacket.
If you're a donor, sorry, Harold, I'm going to send that to the dry cleaner. If you're a donor, I do that to my child in the privacy of my own home. I don't do it to a random Finnish baby in the middle of Europe.
Yeah.
In the middle of Europe.
I mean, I think we should go to our resident child sniffer on that one, Greg Gutfeld.
What does that mean?
Hey, you hit kill me.
Yeah, he put the hell in Helsinki. The baby may be from Finland, but Joe Biden is finished.
Ooh.
How do you like that for a little wordplay?
Love it.
Yeah, it's just I don't see how this can keep going on. It's embarrassing. He's not quietly quitting. He's quietly dead. I mean, he hasn't done anything. He doesn't know where he is, I don't trust people that can't show any restraint. This guy, it's just creepy, right? I mean, it's like, I get it when people talk about kids and puppies, like, oh, you just want to eat them up. You're not supposed to. You can say, oh, I just want to. You don't actually do that.
And the men don't usually do that.
Yeah.
It's usually the women that, oh, what a cute baby.
Now, remember, I want to just point out, Mary Gay, what's interesting about her commentary is that she says that people are stupid, right? This is the woman who took Bloomberg's $500 million presidential campaign war chest and said that if you could have taken that and given $1 million to all of the 370 million Americans, quite possibly one of the dumbest things that's ever been said on television. Do you guys remember that with Brian Williams? She cannot tell people they're stupid. She's lost that right? She can no longer say that.
Harold, I could ask you about the president eating a child's shoulder, but I won't do that to you on a Friday afternoon. Instead, I will ask you about his fundraising, $77 million, but Trump in the same period had $100 million, Obama north of $80 million, so it's kind of lackluster.
Look, I think when you run for re-election for president, Democrat or Republican, you've got to do two things. One, you got to forcefully lay out what you've done the last 4 years, and then advocate on behalf of yourself and your team as to why you need another 4 years to build on that success. And ordinarily, the two things that underline or animate that are economic success, the economy, the market. President Trump, I thought, rightly talked about the success of the stock market being an indicator of how well things are going. Our economy has proved to be pretty resilient, and the stock market has proved to be pretty resilient. So he will talk about that. I differ with you on the thing with the kid there. I had not seen that until now. I read the script beforehand. But I thought he had a decent time in Helsinki in the sense that Sweden joins NATO. NATO reiterated its commitment to, as you put it back up there, NATO reiterated its commitment to Ukraine. We made clear that Ukraine would find its way into NATO after we find some resolution to Russia, the Russia-Ukrainian issue, because we don't want immediately once they join for us to be at war there. So I actually thought it was a decent week for him. I call balls and strikes here on this show about him. But I thought he had a decent.
I mean, you're fair.
I've copyrighted it. But I think he actually had a better week than perhaps some are giving him credit for. Now, having said that, RFK Jr., the things he's talking about are things that are on Democrats' minds. So it'll be interesting to see how President Biden begins to incorporate some of that narrative into his campaign narrative.
You know, and I don't know how this foreign trip's going to move voters. I don't think it will, Emily. But what could move voters? The media totally deriding Trump supporters the same way they did last time around in 2016. What happened there?
Right. This is a media that, as you pointed out, we talked about this, says that the American flag flying from a truck is offensive. In fact, it's a security threat, that by virtue of your presence, if you are a patriot, if you dare to fly the flag from your home, if you vote in a certain way, you are the threat. This is exactly why Americans feel totally alienated and unseen, and that's why Trump resonated with so many people, obviously. And think about all those figureheads, you know, the now unemployed Don Lemon, who made fun of people from the South voting for President Trump. Jake Tapper, who said Navy Biden's mom, well, you know, she's been, you know, associated with people on the right, so there's that. What does that mean? That if I vote conservative, I'm not befitting to be a mother? Is that what that comment made? There are Mika and Mara Gay who say it's ignorant and the like. What is ignorant about policies that result in limited government and higher unemployment rates, in the thriving of an economy, in the things that people care about, including, for example, the multifaceted Hispanic population that for some reason Biden thinks by putting out a commercial in 6 different Hispanic accents, that will somehow attract a very diverse population that cares first and foremost about the economy and safety and education and law and crime. And for all those reasons, that's why they are flocking to the GOP policies. But I guess to those media figureheads, they just call it Trumpism and they call it a security threat.
Yep. Well, the nibbling president is off to a beachside vacation, so stay clear, kids. Fastest is up next.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.